Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a rare and fascinating early version of the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra Chronograph, so early, in fact, that it reflects the first years before coaxial escapements were introduced, meaning, mechanically speaking, it's much more straightforward and even a little bit more durable. The model was made from about 2002 to 2004, as you see it right here. 42.2 millimeters in diameter in stainless steel, 14.2 millimeters thickened from lug tip to lug tip, 50.2 millimeters with a 21 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. This is an excellent strap. Real money was spent here to make this, cut this, and finish this, but because it's alligator leather and it's not even remotely broken in, I have to pull it tight and compress my wrist, which exaggerates the size of the watch. Just take my word for it. Any wrist my size or larger can wear this well, and my wrist is 16 centimeters circumference. Although it's not super thin, it's also not super thick, and with a cupped case back, it sits lower than its measured thickness. And it has a sloped bezel, so yeah, it will fit underneath the cuff. Taking a look at that strap, you can see why I say this was expensively made. Large rectangular symmetrical scale and bolstered to give it thickness. Expensive cut of the animal, lots of it used, and then stuffing to give some bolstering or volume here. Good looking. Gloss finish, monotone stitch, sheer cut edge cleaned up with lacquer application on the back calf skin. No crimping, no gouging. Brand new Omega factory strap. We have a buckle. It's a deployant. It's a single fold, twin trigger release. It can't pop open inadvertently. You feed the strap through, tuck it in, clamp it shut, and then all the extra length goes underneath the strap, and there's no need for strap minders here, so it's very clean once it's sized and closed up. We have lyre-style lugs with the inward bevel, but also the outward bevel, satin-finished midcase, polished expanding bevel that thins out across the midcase, oblong chronograph pushers, and we have a crown here, which is a screw-down crown, and this watch is 150 meters water-resistant, conical bezel, slightly stepped in from the case band, gently cambered curved sapphire. We have applique blued indices with hands to match Omega logo and marquee applique, silver satin dial. You can see that there is luminescence, and we'll take a look at that now. Also, you can see that the watch features a luminescent chronograph seconds hand, so you can actually see that in the dark. Now, in the day, you'll appreciate that we have these three little sub-registers, each somewhat sunken with an azurage pattern and a unique bracketing of the chronograph minutes register. You can see these brackets alongside, an unusual look unique to these. We also have a date, and we have a couple of subsidiary setting modes here, one of which is hacking or stop seconds. Now the other one is a traditional quickset mechanism. The watch featuring what Omega calls the caliber 3301, which is Omega's chronometer certified version of the Frederic Piguet 1285, which in turn is a more robust and more capable version of the thin but delicate FP 1185. So this is a Blancpain movement at heart. That's good, because Blancpain movements through FPGA are excellent. Other features included column wheel function selection for super crisp and positive operation, vertical clutch, so there's no extraneous movement or jump to the seconds hand when you start it up. Also, because there's no additional wear and tear with the vertical clutch, you can just leave it running full time. 4 hertz beat rate, no weirdness, and 33 joules, 5 position adjusted, COSC certified Swiss chronometer movement. And then again, the screw down crown, 150 meter water resistance. Not a lot to see on the solid case back, but we have the hippocampus, the seahorse, and we've got the note that this is part of the then new Aqua Terra collection that launched back in 2002, 150 meters converted directly to 500 feet. Okay, not exact, but we'll just press I believe. The movement inside has real high horology cred. This is a lot more than a Moonwatch caliber or some sort of coaxialized 7750 that would come later. The FP pedigree is a real one that adds a little feather of distinction and high horology cool to this watch. And while the early coaxialized versions, the 1285, were not known for durability, the pre-coax model is an excellent match for a surf and turf watch like this that can be worn as an elegant companion but also used for sporting occasions without concern. So reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.